All right, today I'm going to work on this arm, and I don't know what else I'll be working on, but we'll just take it one step at a time. I'm just going to sketch in the muscles of the arm. I'm not worried about getting high detail, but I got to have the basic shape of the arm under the clothing. And I'm using regular clay, and you can see why I painted that monster clay yesterday. I'm going to go ahead and fill in the back here. Again, I'm not going to put a lot of detail into the back because it's against the rock, and it'll never show. By the way, this armature for the hat really worked out well. I mean, that thing's not going anywhere. I'm so happy with that. All right, I gotta mark where the seam of the top of the sleeve, where it sews onto the coat, the main body of the coat is. That's where I'm going to have it, right there. Now I got a picture off of a video who was the actor? Randolph Scott, in a Western movie where he was wearing a leather coat, and somebody was shooting at him, and he was back against a rock, and he put his arm out like what it is here, and I captured that video photo of him doing that off the video, and that's what I'm going by to give me kind of an idea what the leather would do. Probably not the best example because it's not even the same kind of leather, but it gives me an idea of kind of what would happen to the sleeve. I'll put up a photograph of that here so you can see what I'm talking about. I'm not doing it exactly like the photograph, but it gives me kind of an idea where to go with it. when you gather reference materials, you gather everything that might even relate to what you're doing. And then you just change it to work with what your subject is doing and what kind of clothing he's wearing or she's wearing. And anything that helps you understand what clothing do or does, not do. God, come on, Dave, you know the English language halfway decent. Anyway, I think you understand what I'm saying. Now, he's going to have fringe on the seam of his jacket. And that's going to help a lot too. All right, I'm going to hit this with a little Roncinol while I wait for my monster clay to soften up for the rifle I'm going to sculpt. And it, like I said, it just melts the clay a little bit and gets rid of some of the rough areas that were caused by the sculpting of these wrinkles. The reason a gun, a rifle is called a rifle is because in the barrel of the rifle there are grooves that are put into the inside of the barrel to cause the bullet to spin as it exits the barrel. And that's called rifling. And so in the early 1600s and beyond, back to the 1500s or whenever guns first appeared, they didn't rifle the inside of the barrels. They were smooth bore so that the bullet could not be very accurate because of that. And so those were called muskets because they weren't rifled guns. I learned that when I was doing a commission back in about 2010. I was commissioned to do a sculpture of a gentleman that was killed by the Abenaki Indians back east. And I got an education from a fellow back east who's a fellow artist. And I was miscalling it a rifle when it was actually a musket that the guy was using, because this happened in the early 1700s, 1724, around there. And they were still using muskets. All right, I'm going to get back to work on this thing here and quit talking. All right, I scaled the rifle to match the size of the gentleman using it. And this is the Hawkins rifle that I've got here. This side of the rifle is the one that's going to have the detail. This side is going to have less detail because it's going to be up against his body. Again, the reason I'm using monster clay because it holds its shape. You know, one thing I want is to have this hold its shape. Now, a lot of this is going to be under his arm, so, but I still want to get the accuracy there. I need to. I'm just blocking in the trigger guard. All right, this shows how much will be shown and how much won't be shown. I don't know if I'm going to worry about the trigger guard that much. Well, I like the way this is looking now. I think I'm going to go ahead and paint this tonight. I'm running out of battery here, so I'll have to do the painting after I turn off the camera. Anyway, you can get an idea what it's going to look like. I'm liking it a lot. The coat is going to cover up a lot of the detail, and so I'm not going to worry about doing the trigger guard after all. You get the idea that there's a rifle there, so that's the main thing. All right, everybody, have a great night, and I'll catch you up all on the flip-flop tomorrow. All right, good night, everybody. Good night.
If you like this video, please like and subscribe to my channel. It really would help me. Also, check out the link below this video. It will take you to a review of my 9 instructional videos that could be very helpful to you if you're thinking of sculpting. Good night, everybody.